the world is far stranger than we think. Beneath the dust of history, behind the beauty of ancient castles and forgotten ruins, lurk spirits that never found rest. There are places where the moment you step in, something feels off. A sudden chill with no breeze, a presence watching you from nowhere, a whisper in the dark when you were sure you were alone. Today, World Mysteries invites you to open the door, to cross the veil between the living and the dead, and explore the 10 most haunted places on Earth, where every stone, every wall, every echo carries a story of unspoken fear. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and share this video, so you never miss a single journey into the unknown. Now, hold your breath, stay quiet, and follow us into the darkness. 1. Edinburgh Castle, Edinburgh, Scotland. Perched high atop an extinct volcanic rock, Edinburgh Castle stands as a symbol of power and one of the most haunted sites in all of Europe. Visitors have often reported hearing the sound of haunting flute music echoing through the corridors, not from any street performer, but from a headless ghost drifting through the castle's shadowy halls. Legend says he was a young soldier sent to explore the castle's hidden tunnels, never to return. Within these ancient stone walls, French prisoners from the 7 Years' War and American captives from the Revolutionary War were once held. Their cries and whispers still seem to cling to the cold, damp air. And if you think ghosts are only human, think again. Near the castle's dog cemetery, some have seen a spectral dog wandering quietly, as if guarding the resting place of its fallen companions. This place is a strange blend of glorious history and ghostly echoes from the beyond. Would you dare to enter when darkness falls? If the spirits of Edinburgh Castle echo with the cries of long-past wars, then our next stop brings us face-to-face with ghosts who never had names, but still gather, quietly, in the heart of modern-day America. 2. Whaley House, San Diego, California, USA. Tucked in the peaceful Old Town district of San Diego, the Whaley House may appear to be just another charming historic home, but don't be fooled by its gentle facade. Known as the most haunted house in America, the Whaley House was built in 1857 by Thomas Whaley on land that once served as a graveyard, and ever since, strange things have happened. Author DeTracy Regula recalls chilling moments she personally experienced. Many times while dining at the Old Town Mexican Cafe just across the street, I noticed the second-story shutters suddenly fling open, long after the house had been closed for the day. But that was just the beginning. On one recent visit, she described feeling strange energy in various parts of the house. She caught a faint scent of cigars, especially in the old courtroom, and as she wandered through the hallway, she was struck by the sudden, unmistakable smell of women's perfume. At first, she assumed it came from a fellow visitor, but later found out no one had been wearing perfume at all. And according to the staff, the Whaley House never carries any scent. Could it be that the spirits from the old cemetery still wander the halls? Or perhaps this house has become a portal, linking the living to something much, much older. From modern-day America, we return to the old countryside of Europe, to a village that seems quiet, but hides a tragedy buried deep in stone. Number 3. Borley Rectory, Borley, England. Built in 1862 by Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull, this house was meant to be nothing more than the home of a newly appointed parish priest. But Borley Rectory was never just a home. According to tales favored by ghost hunters, the house was built on the site of an ancient Benedictine monastery dating back to the year 1362. And it's here that a cursed love story took root. A monk from the monastery is said to have fallen in love with a nun from a nearby convent. Their affair, hidden beneath veils of secrecy, was eventually discovered, and their punishment was merciless. The monk was executed. The nun was bricked alive into the walls of the convent. Since then, faint whispers, pale white figures, and soft knocking at midnight have plagued the rectory where Reverend Bull once lived. Many priests who followed fled in fear. None could remain in peace for long. Is it the nun's weeping that still echoes through the walls? Or is the curse of forbidden love forever etched into the bones of the land? We've heard of forbidden love sealed in stone at Borley, but now we return to the United States, to a place where a ghost didn't just haunt, it killed. 4. Bell Witch Farm, Tennessee, USA. Amidst the quiet fields of Tennessee stands a location etched into countless books, films, and ghost hunting shows, the Bell Witch Farm. Because this isn't just another haunting tale, it is perhaps the only documented case of a spirit being blamed for the death of a living person. Between 1817 and 1821, the Bell family was tormented by a spirit they called the Bell Witch, or Kate. Each night, John Bell, the family patriarch, endured torment from something no one could see: whispers in the darkness, windows slamming shut on their own, and beds that shook violently while no one was near. His health deteriorated rapidly until finally he died in agony. Lying beside him was a strange bottle containing a mysterious black liquid. To test it, a family member dropped a single drop onto the tongue of their cat. The cat died instantly. Even today, the local community believes Kate never left. And more disturbingly, whatever she's doing now isn't over. Is this the spirit of a scorned soul or something far older, an ancient curse buried in southern soil? But don't exhale just yet, because next, we journey to a place that is more than just haunted. It's a gateway between life and something far darker. From the haunted farmlands of America, we return once more to England, to a grand estate where history lingers, alongside one of the most famous ghosts ever captured on film. Number 5. Raynham Hall, Norfolk, England. Nestled within the misty fields of Norfolk, Raynham Hall appears elegant and serene until you encounter the Lady in Brown. In 1936, two photographers accidentally captured what is still considered one of the most authentic ghost photos in history: a faint figure descending the staircase, draped in a flowing brown gown, holding a lantern. But the tale of Lady Brown began long before that. In the early 1800s, none other than King George IV claimed he saw a pale-faced woman in brown standing silently beside his bed, her eyes sunken, her hair tangled like something pulled from a grave. Then in 1836, Colonel Loftus, visiting Raynham Hall for Christmas, reported seeing the same ghostly figure, this time with hollow eye sockets staring back at him. Years later, Lieutenant Frederick Marryat and two friends witnessed her again, gliding up and down the staircase, a lantern clutched in her ghostly hands. Marryat, nervous but armed, fired his pistol directly at the apparition. The bullet passed straight through her. She vanished, leaving behind only an icy chill that lingered in the air. Was she a victim of some long-forgotten secret buried within the estate, or a soul forever trapped in her endless walk along those haunted stairs? From the shadowed staircases of Raynham Hall, we now step aboard a vessel that once ruled the seas, but now carries the weight of spirits that never left its decks. 6. The Queen Mary, California, USA. Once a grand ocean liner known for luxury and elegance, the Queen Mary is now a hotel and one of the most haunted ships in the world. According to crew members and countless visitors, the most terrifying place on board is the engine room. It was here that a 17-year-old crewman was crushed to death by a watertight door during a fire drill gone wrong. Ever since, unexplained knocking and banging can be heard echoing from the pipes and hatches at night. But that's only the beginning. Near the hotel reception area, guests have reported seeing a woman in a flowing white gown standing silently, as if waiting for someone who never arrives. Then there's the swimming pool, no longer in use but far from quiet. Visitors often hear the voice of a little girl calling for her mother and her doll. She is said to have broken her neck in a tragic accident near the pool. To this day, her presence is felt. Her cry still echoes. Objects move on their own. Guests feel cold, invisible hands touch them, and the agonized moans from deep within the hull, some believe they come from a sailor who died when the Queen Mary collided with a smaller vessel. From the grand deck to the narrow passageways, no part of this ship is truly at peace. The Queen Mary may be docked, but the dead on board have not disembarked. We've wandered through cursed forests, sunken decks, and haunted estates. But now, we step into a place where the world's highest power meets the spirits that refuse to leave. Number 7. The White House, Washington, D.C., USA, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, home to presidents, history, and according to many, a gathering place for ghosts of leaders past. It's said that President William Henry Harrison can still be heard rummaging around in the attic. Andrew Jackson is known to stubbornly linger in his former bedroom, his presence as fiery as ever. And Abigail Adams, America's first lady to live in the White House, has often been seen floating through the halls, carrying invisible laundry. but the most frequently witnessed ghost is that of President Abraham Lincoln. One young secretary during the Roosevelt administration reported walking into a room only to find Lincoln sitting calmly on the bed, removing his boots as if returning from battle. Another time, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands was startled awake by a knock on her door. When she opened it, she was met with Lincoln's solemn stare, before he silently faded away into the corridor. Do these former leaders linger out of duty, unable to release the weight of the nation? Or are they guarding the very foundation of the country they once served? From the ghostly corridors of Washington, D.C., where presidents never left, we now travel to one of the bloodiest landmarks in British history, a place that once served as a palace, a prison, and now a graveyard for lost souls. 8. The Tower of London, London, England. For over 1,000 years, the Tower of London has stood as a symbol of power, and a place where hundreds of executions, murders, and brutal tortures unfolded. It's no surprise that this fortress is regarded as one of the most haunted locations on Earth. Encounters with spirits, inside and out, have been documented for centuries. On a cold winter night in 1957, a guard was startled awake at 3 a.m. by loud banging on the watchtower. He stepped outside and saw a glowing white figure standing atop the tower. Only later did he discover that on that exact date, 500 years earlier, Lady Jane Grey had been beheaded at that very spot. But perhaps the most famous ghost haunting this tower is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, executed in 1536. She's been seen countless times, carrying her severed head, drifting through the Chapel Tower and the Green Tower, a sight that has sent many fleeing in terror. Yet one of the most horrifying tales tied to the tower is that of Countess Salisbury, sentenced to death in 1541, though the people believed she was innocent. As she stood on the scaffold, she broke free and ran, only to be chased down by the executioner, wildly swinging his axe until she collapsed in a pool of blood and screams. That horrifying execution is said to replay itself, night after night, reenacted by spirits in the Green Tower. Is this place a monument to justice or a prison of eternal unrest? And the journey isn't over yet, because in the next chapters, you'll learn that death is not the end. It's only the beginning of true fear. From the blood-stained Tower of London, we journey to the windswept coast of Northern Ireland, where a seaside castle still echoes with unanswered knocks and unseen guests. 9. Ballygally Castle, Ballygally Bay, Northern Ireland. Located in the village of Ballygally, County Antrim, this castle faces the sea, its stone walls worn by salt and time. It's the only 17th century building in the region still used as a residence, but not just by the living. Locals say Ballygally Castle is one of the most haunted places in all of Ireland. The most well-known spirit here is Lady Isabel Shaw, one of the castle's earliest occupants. Many guests report hearing mysterious knocks on their doors late at night, only to find no one there. Legend tells of a cruel fate. Isabel was locked in her room by her husband, starved and abandoned. In desperation, she leapt to her death from a window. Now her ghost is said to still knock, seeking help that never comes. Another ghost, Madame Nixon, who lived in the castle in the 19th century, is often seen wandering the halls in a flowing silk dress, her presence marked by the faint rustle of fabric in the dead of night. Some guests speak of strange dreams where they feel someone watching them sleep, and when they open their eyes, there's nothing but a door slowly closing behind them. After crossing shadowed forests and ghost-ridden towers, our journey nears its end, at a place where beauty hides a horror too dark to forget. 10. Rose Hall, Montego Bay, Jamaica. Built in the 1770s, Rose Hall is a grand stone mansion perched on a hill overlooking the sparkling Caribbean Sea. But behind its romantic facade lies a legend that has haunted Jamaica for centuries. She was known as the White Witch, Annie Palmer. In 1820, Annie arrived at Rose Hall, and from that moment on, blood began to flow. According to legend, she murdered 3 of her husbands, one by poison, another by stabbing, and one by hanging, followed by pouring boiling oil into their ears. Her lovers, including enslaved men, met equally gruesome fates. Why? Because she grew bored of them. No one knows how many died at her hands. Whispers speak of secret underground tunnels, permanent bloodstains, and rituals never meant to be seen. Recently, tourists have even captured ghostly faces in their photos, peering through windows and mirrors. Is it Annie herself, or the souls she left behind? And at night, if you walk the cold stone halls, you may hear the shrill laughter of a woman, or a spell whispered from a corner you can't quite find. We've walked through 10 haunted places, 10 fragments of the beyond, where time stands still and fear never dies. From chilling European castles to a ghost ship forever docked, from the historic home of American presidents to a witch's cursed hall on a Jamaican hill, each place leaves behind an invisible mark on those who dare enter. But the real question isn't whether you believe the stories are true. It's this: if you were there, alone at midnight, would you dare not to turn around? And if this journey sent a chill down your spine, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to World Mysteries, because the darkest tales are just beginning. Have you ever visited one of these places? Or do you know a haunted site even more terrifying? Let us know in the comments. We're listening and waiting. Until next time, we'll meet again, deeper in the dark.